Okay. So first, I'm just gonna show an introduction on how to use it, okay? And
Okay.
let's see here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So I know you trade Bitcoin crypto, correct?
Yes.
So initially, this is for futures, but
Okay.
I'm gonna be testing it out with you with crypto. I do see it has some good trades. Okay.
Yes. Yes. I have your indicator on the crypto chart. Actually, I am from India, so trading in this e-mini.
So you can trade futures. Hello? I think you cut off. Okay, I just heard a sound.
Yes. You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. What were you saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying that Indians are not allowed. An Indian resident cannot trade at present in e-mini, EQs, and this Nasdaq futures. But Bitcoin has is also authorized last month only. Before that, it was not legal to trade Bitcoin also. So just beginner with trading Bitcoin right now. So I have your indicator on my chart right now. So can you shift this chart to Bitcoin? Can you so we can you can go through that entries and exits.
Okay, so I do see you guys are allowed to trade futures, but I guess you guys are just limited to what futures you guys can trade, right?
Yes.
Okay. What's the index that you guys use?
Actually, I'm not. I used to trade in Indian markets. Indian markets, Nifty is the Indian market, and but right now I'm just trading Bitcoin only, Bitcoin and Ethereum, ETH.
Okay, so let's go to ETH then. Let me just make sure. Okay, so first, let me just show you how I use it on NASDAQ, and then we're gonna switch to ETH, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. I know you can't trade NASDAQ, but this is just for everybody else. So basically, I like to trade just New York session from 7 a.m. This is just
Mhm.
US time, all the way till close, which is around 4 p.m. I stop trading, right?
Mhm.
So today, 7 a.m. starts right here. Sometimes I'll probably trade around 6 if I find something, but I try to stick mostly to New York session, okay?
Mhm.
So boom. Uh 7 a.m. starts at that red line. As you can see, 7:30 was right here.
Mhm.
So I wait until the second green candle and these green dots are above,
Mhm.
right? And then I see this buy, right? Well, first things first, sorry. First, I see the buy in the entry.
Mhm.
Then I look for the candles to go green, right?
Mhm.
So when I see these candles go green, the next thing I look for is for these green dots to appear above the candle to let me know this is going to be a strong, a stronger uptrend, right? For me, I like to aim for a 1-to-1, but you're just going to have to test it out with Bitcoin, and we can probably do that together, right? Uh so I see the buy, I see the entry, then I see the candles go green. So I would have actually entered on this candle, right here. Right, and then I seen the green dot too. Well, the close of this candle, so I would have entered on this. I wait for the candle to close first. I don't just enter as soon as the candle goes green and the dot is there. I wait for the candle to close. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have your notebook to take notes?
No, I am listening. It's kind of, I can remember this much. If any gets much technical, then I will write it.
Okay,
So
no problem.
you wait for the candle high also, or you just take when the candle closes?
I just wait for this like you see how this candle, you see how I see the buy and the entry,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you want to, you can enter off of these candles if you would like, but I like to wait until I see these green dots for extra confirmation.
Yes,
Okay.
I understood that. I'm asking that on the candle on which the dot appears. So you wait for that candle to close only, or you wait for that candle high also?
I wait for this candle, the first candle that comes up with the dot, I wait for that full candle to close and then I enter at the open in the next one.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
understood.
All right. So boom, this happened and then it hit take profit. So good trade, right? These
Yeah.
are just extra confirmations for the trend flow. As you can see, it was green. Down here was green. This just follows the candles. So the bottom just follows the candles colors, as you can see. You see, this went green, the candle went green. Candle went red, this went red, right? This is just an extra confirmation, and the dots above is also an extra confirmation. So the more green you see, right? Definitely with the dots, green above and green below, it's a good indication that it's gonna go up, okay? You got that? You're cutting off again. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I don't know why my audio is getting disconnected.
Okay.
Yeah, I understood the first entry.
All right, so this was a good entry, and as you can see, I hit take profit. I wasn't able to take the trade today because I was busy this morning. So yeah. And then for sales, these sales weren't so good today on how I like it because it was a big down candle. So usually I would wait for this candle to close and then I would enter on this next candle. Just because it was such a big candle, I like to wait, right? Then I would have entered at the close of this second candle. You see, you got the sell up here. You just zoom it down more. You have the sell up here, entry right here. This candle came back up and did just a quick what is it called? Retracement on a smaller time frame. And then I would have got in at the open of this candle. And then it just basically hit my TP in one candle. Okay. Sometimes with these big candles, you want to wait to see if it retraces in a candle or two and wait for the first candle to close that starts going down. Even if I would have got in the middle of this candle, it would have hit TP. So if I would even got in, let me turn this off. If I would have got in right in the middle of this candle, it would have still hit TP. Sometimes I like to go 20 points. My minimum is 20 points. So, and then I like to watch it on the 1 minute, right?
Okay.
All right, so now let's just go to Ethereum. Do you understand it so far?
Yes, I
Sell,
understand.
entry, dots. Okay.
Yes. Can I ask
Buy,
something?
huh?
Can I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there are green dots on the gray candles and red dots on the gray candles. So what do you do about that?
So for the gray, these are just my regular candles, like my candlestick colors. Like if I turn this off, as you can see, that's just my candlestick colors, right? I would just ignore it. It has to be your colors, okay? It has
Okay.
to
So
be the colors of the candlesticks, the colors of the trend, which is down here. It has to be green
I
or red.
understood that. If you are in a trade and the candle goes gray, but the dot is there, it's happening in Bitcoin. Uh, so if you are in a trade and
Are you talking about right here?
yes, so the candles are gray if you are in trade, but the dots are above that. So you do not take entry when the bar is gray,
So no,
and
for
but
me,
the
I
dot.
wouldn't have taken any entry. I would have waited until the
Okay,
candles go green again.
okay.
But there's multiple, once again, there's multiple ways to truly get in. I'm gonna back test it more and see if that also works out, okay?
Mhm.
Because these green dots are extra confirmation, but the fact that this is not green for me, this is all gray also, it's just letting you know that we're basically in consolidation right now. Now it just went green, and most likely this went green. But I do not see any buys except right here. My entry would have most likely been here, and I would have went for a 1-to-1.
No,
So
entry will be at the next candle when the signal came.
so this is 840. Now with Bitcoin, once again, I haven't tested the big stop loss. So let's just say you would have entered right here, right? No, this is the green. Let's just say you would have entered right here. And let's see. I would have aimed for a 1-to-1. Right. So this could have stopped you out. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, no, this wouldn't have been the best trade to have taken. Only reason being is because you do not have an immediate low to put it under. So if you would have put it under this low, it would have basically stopped you out. But since the buy entry is still there, the minute these candles go green again with the dots, you could have got a re-entry and just base it off of this buy and entry, right? So let's just say this would have hit your stop loss. You could have got in right here and aimed for a 1-to-1. For me, my stop, if I'm using Bitcoin, would have been under this candle. And then once again, 1-to-1. So the trade would have won as soon as it hit this candle. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So for this one, this would have been a great sell entry. It says entry. The red dot came up right here. I would have entered on the next sell candle. Turn my magnets on. I would have entered on the next sell candle. Stop loss would have been up here. And I would have aimed for a 1-to-1. Hold on. So 1-to-1 is right here, right?
Mhm.
So let's just say it hits your 1-to-1, right? What you can do now is actually move your stop loss up right here. Can you see the line that I have right here?
Mhm.
Let me just do another line for you. As soon as it hits your 1-to-1, I would move my stop loss up. Sorry, I'm a perfectionist. Let me fix this. Let's see. Okay, I don't have a stop loss line. So that would have been my stop loss line. And
Mhm.
then I would just keep dragging it forth until it hits 2-to-1, 1-to-2. And then if you want to, you can keep moving your stop loss up or wait for it right there. Or as soon as it hits a 2-to-1, move your stop loss, but then you would have been stopped out. Or another way you can try it and test it out is if it hits 1.5 R, let the market breathe for a little bit, and then move it up to 1.5 R, and just keep trailing it as it goes down. If you would have held this whole time, you could have caught with Bitcoin a 1-to-5 R. But once again, this is if you're monitoring the trade, okay?
Mhm.
If you want longer term trades, you would want to look at the higher time frames, okay?
Okay, so if I stopped out at 1 or 1.5 in this trade, so would I be entering again when the when our rules
I would not advise
uh,
entering again. Now, if you want to, you can, right? You can
mhm,
wait until the next set of candles go red, which is right here,
mhm, mhm,
right? Since this sell entry is still there, but
mhm,
the only problem is this buy entry came.
mhm.
So after you see another type of entry comes in, I would ignore it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
But you see how
Okay.
this sell entry was right here,
Mhm.
over here, right? You see it?
Yes.
Even though these candles went green, I would still be looking at it until one of these come in. So
Mhm.
when this comes in, see the red dot? Hold on. Red candle, red dot. I would have waited for the second one. Entered, stop loss would have been above this high. And I would have went for a 1-to-1. Do you see how that won? Even though
Yes.
you're still in the trade and this buy comes in, the fact is the buy came in, but the candles are red, so just ignore it. Another way that I used to help me, right, is have my EMAs on, right? So you can use 100 EMA, 200 EMA, 50. This is the 100. So you see how the sell entry came in? It's still pushed up, but as soon as it started turning red and it broke under, and I see this red, these red dots stop above the high, as long as the candle is still under the 100 EMA, I would ignore these buys and just hold the sell. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then even if you could even dragged it out longer, right? You could have caught this whole move because it stayed under the EMA. This is just an extra tip that I will show everybody else.
Okay.
you know, so you could have got a big move. And then again, sell entry, red dots, you could have got in again and keep holding because it's under. Is that making sense?
Yes, yes.
And then if you want to get out, once you see the green dot come up and it's above the 100, I would have got out. But if you want to keep holding, you probably want to check on the 15-minute. And then you could have even got a little bit more down to here. But that little bit more is not worth it. You know, I would have just took profits and just been happy for the day. Does that make sense?
Yes. And what about the topmost color bar?
The which bar?
Yes, the topmost bar, the color bar. The downside is the bottom is the candle color. The bottom
Yes. The bottom is
and
the candle color.
yes, and the upside.
The top side, they're just kind of like EMAs.
Okay.
So it's like crossing of two EMAs basically. It's just extra confirmation
Okay.
that we're in a downtrend. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
So you can change this. I keep it at the settings, but if you change this, you'll see that it'll change with it. Like let's just put it to the 9 and 21. So we'll test it off with this one. Okay, we got 10 more minutes. So boom, you'll see that this bar was red right here. But if I change this to the 21, oh snap, 21, click OK. Up, it stayed the same. Hold on. Still waiting for it to load. So nothing changed with it. Let's just change this to the 5 and 13. Waiting for it to load. As you can see, some of the greens at the top changed, but this one never changed. So it still stayed red. But as you can see, some of the other ones changed. Let's bring this back to 9 and 30. And I'll test it out with another one. Watch, you're gonna see some of these change up here.
Yes, yes, understood.
So if I were to put this one right here. See what happens. Change. One second. I think the cells are staying the same. Trying to see. So as you can see, this was the first green one. But when I changed the settings, this became the first green one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So this just acts like extra EMAs, basically, as you can see, fast MA, slow MA. So I like to keep it at the 9 and 30. All right. So that's basically it. Let's look at Ethereum.
Can we ignore the last sell signal that came in BTC? Can you please switch again?
Say that one more time.
The last sell signal on the BTC. Can you switch again one more time, please? On the Bitcoin, yes.
This one.
Yes.
Well, I would ignore it because the candles are green,
Mhm.
right? And then there's green dots above the candle, so I would have ignored it. I wouldn't have taken it because it didn't go red.
Okay.
No red dots. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. But until the candles go red and there's red dots, this sell signal is still good. Now, that's just one way of entry. Now, let me show you one more. This one's a little bit more risky, but it still works, right?
Mhm.
Another entry style for me is, do you see how these candles are red?
Mhm.
Are you looking?
Yes.
So the fact that this candle went red, I would have waited until the dots came in. This is just a
Mhm.
second entry. This is like more of a C plus setup. I would have entered at the second red dot candle, had my stop loss above the last high, and aimed for a 1-to-1. So 1-to-1 was right here. So the candles are red. The bar above is red and the bar below is red. And then there's red dots on the candle. I would have waited for this candle with the red dot at the bottom to close, and then I would have entered. But it has to match the top red and the bottom red with the red dot. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's a second form of entry, right?
So this is more conservative than the first.
The first one is more conservative. This one's is just a little bit more risky, but you can still find some good trades with it.
So I did not understood the difference between the two entries.
The first one, you wait for the sell, you would wait for sell and entry.
Okay. Okay.
But the second one, you're not waiting for sell and entry or buy and entry. You're just looking at the green dots, green up top,
Okay.
and the green dot, and like the green candles, right? The second
Right.
one, red candles, red dots, but enter on the second candle after the first red dot candle and make sure red at top and red at the bottom. That's the second one, but you're not waiting, you're just not waiting for a buy or a sell entry,
Okay.
right?
Then so
Here's
if you are
another
in
one.
a trade,
Huh?
if you are in a trade, in the last trade, can you go again on the last trade you were showing? So the
Okay.
candles turned green and the buy entry came before the target.
For me, I'm sticking with my target, right? And then once again, you can use the 100 EMA and you can see that we were still under it.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
The EMA is just to help you see that trend is still going down. Sometimes these buy entries, which is just short term, and you won't get a lot from it. Okay. But I would have held, because first things first, I'm already in the trade. It's either going to hit my stop loss or hit my take profit. Most people, they tend to never see success in trading because they do not allow their stop loss or their take profit to hit. Okay. It comes with it, man. Sometimes you just have to accept the loss. Okay. And do not move your stop loss. Just leave it where it's at. But this was the extra confirmation, just the EMA. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go over one more setup. Boom. So first red dot candle, candle's red. this red dot candle close, once again, red dot. Top is also red. Bottom is red, of course, because it's matching the candlesticks. I would have entered on this second candle. Stop loss above. Stop loss above this high. And I would have aimed for the 1-to-1. Okay. And then you could have moved your stop loss up. And just held. Right? Let's see. 1-to-2. It's right here. Even though it did the 1-to-2, you can just let it breathe for a little bit if you feel like it's still going to keep going down. Right? So let's just say we moved it to, once again, this is stuff that you're going to want to test out yourself. 1-to-50. I mean, 1-to-1.5. You could have just left it here and then allowed your trade to go to 3. Right? 3-0. And then if